And stay tuned for the Mike Scinto program. Today's guest, Bruce Williams of the popular TalkNet radio program.
Oh, one of my favorites. We'll close out with the music of the Watkins High School Band. Take care, everybody.
America's all-time favorite, MASH, this afternoon at 5.
Now, live from the studios of 1290 WHIO, your chance to take part in the Miami Valley's only midday radio talk forum. 1290 WHIO and Television 7 proudly present this simulcast segment of the Mike Scinto Show.
All right, good morning to you, and welcome to the television portion of our show. And for the radio audience, the gentleman you are now seeing, if you've gone to your TV sets, is a man you listen to in the United. So many people say, "What does Bruce Williams look like?" And now they know. Hi, Bruce.
Well, the bubble has been burst.
Listen, thanks so much for coming on with us today. And you know, we call you, and I don't know if this is something that your agent came up with, or if we just used it, but we call you the man with the answers because I don't think there's anything that you haven't done. Once. Well, maybe
I'll give most things a shot. That's true.
Yeah. We talked about it during the radio portion. And one of the comments that I get the most, and when I mentioned on the air that I was going to have you on, some folks called and said, "This guy must be a terrible risk taker. I mean, if it looks good to him, he's going to do it."
Oh, sure. I mean, that's what life is all about, isn't it? I mean, in the last couple of years, I did on camera, a 12,000-foot skydive because I wanted to prove that people over 50 aren't dead. I got in a tank with Shamu. I drove a Mississippi riverboat. Was the grand marshal of the balloon festivities down in Albuquerque, that was a hoot because balloons are bumping into it. 580 balloons in the air at one time. You had to see it to believe it.
Have you always been that kind of risk taker, or did you live the first part of your life a little more conservatively, or have you always gone for the gusto?
Nothing much has changed.
Pretty much the same. What you see is what you get. All right, let's go to the phones and say hello to Elaine from Centerville. Hi, you're on with Bruce Williams.
Hi.
Hello, Elaine.
I'm looking at you right now, and I think you look great.
I got you.
And the thing I want to say that I think that you're the most patient person that I've ever listened to. You never lose your cool, and I think it's great.
Well, thank you very much. I almost lost it here this morning.
Why?
Yeah, that's a whole other story. I got Murray here, though. Murray took good care of me. I mean, for a minute there, I thought Attila the Hun was running this operation.
But I've listened to you since the very beginning, and let me tell you, when I go on vacation, I make sure I have a radio with the earplugs because I don't want to keep my husband awake, and I put the earplugs in and listen to you all night.
Well, thank you, Mom. I appreciate that.
And I'll listen again tonight.
All right.
Super. Great that you're here.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We say hello to John from Northwest Dayton. You're on with Bruce Williams. Hi.
Yeah, I just want to tell him I listen to him almost every night. I wish you didn't have baseball some nights. I'd like to have him instead. I'm surprised how young he is.
Well, hey, you're my guy, John.
Yeah, I've never seen him, of course, and I hope you get out to Dayton someday.
I'm hoping
to.
to
be in attendance.
And again, just if you send your request to Chuck Browning here at the radio station, WHIO Radio, he's the gentleman you need to talk to, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bruce, do you ever get frustrated with, in my business, it's interviews of people like you and newsmakers. You're dealing with handing out expertise, and hopefully you're a teacher. In a sense, you're a teacher or sharing ideas. Do you get frustrated when sometimes the pupil isn't listening?
Well, yeah, on occasion. But you have to understand, Mike, this applies to both of us.
Yeah.
If somebody calls and you and I can't make our point, then we failed because we're the guys who are being paid to be the communicator.
Interesting point.
Not the person.
Yeah, interesting point. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to tell you how you can participate and talk to Bruce Williams of TalkNet as the Mike Scinto Show continues on 1290 WHIO Radio and Television 7. Here are the numbers right now.
You can take part in the Mike Scinto Show by calling 457-1290 or toll free anywhere in Ohio, 1-800-345-1290.
Bruce, I've seen and you've seen and I've heard you comment on them on your show. These guys who, with no money down, you're gonna be a millionaire overnight. And they make it sound so real.
Well, sure, they're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
You don't expect them to say, well, look, send me some money, but we're not very good. These guys are... I'm in the process of doing a book about that, by the way.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're answering all of these sucker ads. And then we'll take the best of 50 maybe and put them in the book. We're getting involved in... if there's anybody from the postal authorities, don't listen. We're going to get involved in chain letters, multi-level marketing. We sell greaseless donuts. You name it, we're going to do it. Bronze baby shoes. And then we'll let you know if you can make any money or not.
All right, let's go to the phones. We say hello to Sissy. You're on with Bruce Williams. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mike and Bruce.
Hi.
What I'd like to ask, and maybe you've gone into this before I turned on my TV set, educational background for you, Bruce. You know so much about everything when I listen to you, and I always wait for somebody to stump you, but they never do.
Well, I get stumped pretty regularly. That's what we have the expert lines are for. But I have a few scars. That's what it comes down to. I've been in business literally since I was 10 years old. Started my first business when I was 10, and I'm still beginning businesses or buying into them. Earlier, Mike and I were talking about my background, and I got into this because I thought about buying a radio station, and I've come full cycle. About a year ago, I bought one.
All right. How does it feel to be the owner instead of the employee?
Oh, I'll tell you. Well, I've only been there twice, Mike. My son is down there. It's in Longview, Texas, which is a long hike from my home. He's doing well. He's got the frustrations and all the other stuff that go with it.
You're the kind of owner I like. You only come twice in a year.
Well, that's the only way to operate.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try to look over somebody's shoulder, you're a failure.
That is an interesting philosophy.
Well, think about it. You can only be in one place at one time. Now, I don't care if you do brain surgery. You only cut so many heads a day. If you're making your real money, you get 5 other brain surgeons. You get 20% of what they do, right?
Yeah.
Now you've increased your efficiency by 100%. Well, the same thing is true with me. I don't want to go to businesses that I'm involved with. I'll sit here and talk on the phone. If I'm a fireman, if there's a real problem, I'll get on a plane and go. As you must know, I just moved my office to Florida. It was more efficient to have it in Central Florida than in the New York, New Jersey area. But if you think I'm going to go there once a week, no, maybe once a year.
Now, just the opposite, though, is your advice for people just starting out into a small business. You want them to get into something they know something about, right?
Yeah, and furthermore, I want them to paint themselves into a corner so they only have one direction to go. Most of us, if we had a parachute and the engine gets on fire, you bail out. Well, no parachute, you fly the airplane.
All right, let's go back to the phones for Bruce Williams, and we say hello to, I believe, Millie's up next from Harrison Township. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello there.
Oh, Bruce, it's so nice to see you again. I heard you and listened to you so much over the phone.
Well, you are a sweetheart.
Bruce, I heard one time when we were listening to you one evening that you were from upstate New York, and you mentioned Glens Falls.
Well, I'm not from there, but I did live there for 2 years.
Oh, I thought you were from there, and my husband and I are both from there. And when anybody mentions Glens Falls, New York, we jump at the chance.
When did you live there, dear?
Well, all our life up until 1955. We were born and brought up there.
Well, let me see. I went to Sanford Street School.
Sanford Street? Oh,
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I lived on Liberty Avenue.
You lived on Liberty Avenue.
Yeah, little street. Was around the corner from a barber's market. How's that?
Exactly. I know exactly where it was. Well,
and I've often wondered about a girl that I had a big crush on when I was about 10 years old.
Oh.
Her name was O'Grady.
O'Grady. No, doesn't hit a spot with me.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm just so interested. I thought maybe you were from there. You were very young when you lived there.
Yes, ma'am. I was about 10, 11 years old.
Oh.
All right.
It's beautiful country.
It isn't. My son goes skydiving up there.
Oh, yes. Wonderful.
Millie, thanks so much for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, we talked about the quick money guys who, no money down guys who make it sound so easy, Bruce.
Sure.
I've heard you say, if I've heard you say it once, I've heard you say it 1,000 times, hey, if you don't like the way your government's doing it, go be elected mayor.
Sure.
And change
it. If you want to gripe, earn the right to gripe. That's how I got there.
Yeah. It wasn't easy, I'm sure, right? Or was it?
It was fun.
Was it?
It was fun. The first time I ran as an independent, I got into a runoff with a Republican, and he beat me by, I think, 30 votes, which is really nothing. The next time out of the blocks, I got smart and I ran with a party and got 75% of the vote, and I did pretty well.
How many people listen to you on TalkNet every night?
They tell me the cume is around 10 million.
Wow. How does that feel, to talk to 10 million people a night?
I don't talk to 10 million people. I talk to one person, person on the phone.
All right.
I mean that sincerely. It's a one-on-one.
You have to, I guess, in reality, and I do the same thing, but I never thought of it that way. If you thought about the number of people you're reaching, you'd sit there and the mouth would open and nothing would come out.
I don't think you'd be at a loss for words, Mike.
Okay.
Come on, cut me a break. Once in a great while, my mind will wander, and I'm thinking, well, I was in Ventura a week or so ago, and my voice is now in Ventura or at Prudhoe Bay or Central America, and that kind of gets to you a little bit. But basically, I don't even, this television thing is something else. I got to sit here and look at a camera, and when I do the show, I got my feet up in the air, I got a Diet Coke there, and I play solitaire.
Do you ever win?
Once in a while.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Bruce Williams with us from CBS in New York City as the Mike Scinto Show continues on 1290 WHIO Radio and Television 7. Back to the phones in just a moment. We're visiting with Bruce Williams from New York. Bruce, we talked about the things that you have done. What is your, is there one thing that you've wanted to do that you haven't done yet?
Well, a lot of things. I'm going to coach some football somewhere on the line if I live long enough. I want to try hang gliding just to see if it's the hoot that they say it is. Well, there are a ton of things I'd like to get under my belt yet. It's, hey, if you stop thinking about those things, you're dead.
If you fall off the horse, you keep going, don't you? Because you had the plane mishap. And
what a charitable way to put it, a plane mishap.
Yeah,
I screwed up. 6 months in the hospital to prove it.
But you get back on the horse.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't the plane's fault, it was my fault. Right. Pilot error.
Yeah, I was going to say, in this business, we call it operator error.
There you go.
We say hello to Mary from East Dayton. Hi, you're on with Bruce Williams.
Hi, Bruce.
Yes.
Hi, Mary.
Mary, could I get you to speak way up for us, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
Bruce, I just wanted to call and say I have a paper route that I deliver at 3 o'clock in the morning every day, and I usually listen to you about every day. And,
I'm delighted we can keep you company.
Yeah, it's really nice to have somebody to listen to.
That's a terrible hour to get up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's a pretty good job. And I heard on WHIO that you were going to be on this morning, so I had to stay up and listen to you.
Well, I hope it was worthwhile. I thank you much.
Thanks. Bye-bye, Mary.
Bye-bye, honey.
We say hello to another Mary, this time from Bellbrook. Hi.
Hi. Great to talk to you. This is really a real serendipity.
I am lost completely. I can't hear a thing.
Oh, you can't hear a thing now?
I can hear you, but I cannot hear her.
Okay, Mary, could you speak way up for us?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now I got you.
Oh, okay. This is really a serendip today to be able to talk to you because I've had this question in my mind. I have a son who is just starting out life in the real world, so to speak, and listening to your program, you have so many things that I think that he could relate to and would be informative for him. So what I'm calling about is, can you tell me what your affiliate station would be in the Valparaiso, Pensacola area?
In what area, dear?
Valparaiso, Florida, or Pensacola. He's stationed at Eglin Air Force Base, and so I keep saying, well, find Bruce Williams on your radio station. You'll just find loads of information.
If we put her on hold, can she call your office, and will they be able to tell her, or would the network be able to tell her?
She could call my office in Florida or call the network in New York, either one.
Okay, we'll put you on hold, okay, Mary?
Okay, great.
And give you the information. I don't think there's a spot in the country that you can't be picked up. It may not be in the city right next to where you are.
Yeah, we've got the country from everything from Hawaii to Maine, from Prudhoe Bay through Central America. We got pretty well covered.
Okay, for the television audience who joined us, we talked about it toward the end of the radio broadcast. America Asks Bruce. What is it? How did it come about?
It's a publisher in San Diego. There's a story with that, too. It's kind of funny. But they contacted us and asked if they had the rights to the last couple of years' programs, and they did, I think, a pretty decent job. They listened to the tapes. They took what they felt were the better calls, cross-referenced them, edited them, and put them into a book called America Asks Bruce. They were selling it, as is customary, before the printing was done, right? And they had, I don't know, 10, 15,000 orders, whatever the number was. And suddenly they had a little problem. Do you remember Last Temptation of Christ and all of the the problems with it, right?
Sure.
Well, apparently, I say apparently, I don't want to make any allegations, but apparently somebody was upset in Southern California, and when the book was printed, they burned down the warehouse. And guess whose book was in the same warehouse?
Oh, Lord.
So we were out of business for a while.
Wow. Very quickly, before we go back to the phones, business is business to you, whether it's with a family member or, I mean, you separate friendship and family relations and business, don't you?
I try to, but understand, my son is my partner in a radio station. My daughter now is my business manager, and I didn't give her that job. Mm-hmm. Somebody else that works with me gave it to her, and she's super. I mean, for a young woman, it's kind of schizophrenic now, you know. I get a call. Is it my daughter call or my manager call? I mean, she'll chew me out as a manager. As a daughter, she better not try. My youngest son and I are opening a nightclub next month, and he is a partner in that. So that I have two more. One guy is a physical therapist, and he just has nothing to do with the family businesses. And my daughter works for NBC Television.
All right. Let's go to the phones and say hello to Michelle. You're on with Bruce Williams on the Mike Scinto Show. Hi.
Hi, Bruce.
Hello, Michelle.
I talked to you before about my trailer park, about where I could park and where I couldn't park. And
I recall.
And I never got it revolved. It never happened, but I did have my baby, and I had a boy.
Well, congratulations.
And I just wanted to tell you, my husband bought me a radio for my kitchen because I would much rather talk to him than I talk to you, so I stay in the kitchen all night and listen to you.
Well, I'm delighted.
And I just think you're super, and I really think that everything that you have to say is so smart. I have never met a man like you.
Do you have any enemies, Bruce?
Oh, yeah, I got lots of enemies. I think I met one this morning.
I just truly love you, and I think Mike is terrific too.
Well, thank you.
I found WHIO, and it's not gone off.
Thank you so very much, Michelle.
Thanks, that's kind of you. Bye-bye. We say hello to, in fact, her child's name is Michael Bruce. We say hello to Ray from Cincinnati. Hi.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you? Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning.
I listen to you all the time for about the last 3 years, every night, and at times you get so frustrating because, like the lady that just called, you say that you're going to have your producer, Mike, look into it and try to correct things for her. And I listen day after day, week after week, and I never hear where you resolved it.
Well, we try to play that down because the people who weren't around for the first part of the novel wouldn't understand what we're talking about. So we let Mike get to do his job, and once in a while we'll talk about something, but not too regularly.
And normally Mike will get back with the people involved once he tracks something down. It may not be on the air, but he'll get back with them, right, Bruce?
Well, I'll keep that in mind. I truly shall.
Could you? I didn't know if you could hear that or not. Once in a while, they will get back with Mike will get back with the people who had the problem, though, right? Even though it may not be on the air. Hello? Okay, apparently we're having some audio problems. We're going to take a quick break and see if we can get it fixed. Bruce Williams is with us live via satellite from New York City on the Mike Scinto Show on 1290 WHIO Radio and Television 7. I think we have our audio problems taken care of. Mark, you're on with Bruce Williams. Hi.
Good morning. Bruce, I do a great deal of driving. I'm a district sales manager with a national company. I travel a 6-state area. I listen to you often. I always do buckle up my seatbelt, as you say, that you don't want to lose one of us.
Can't afford to lose you, Mark.
Question is, Bruce, last night I was listening to you, and you had a long, detailed conversation with a school teacher versus a credit card type situation in renting a car.
Yes.
Do you ever get frustrated with callers? I know you spoke to him for an extended amount of time, and toward the end it kind of like went into 3 or 4 minutes of commercials and a real quick goodbye.
Yeah, well, I got out with 4 seconds to spare, which is cutting kind of tight.
Right, I was just wondering how often you get frustrated with a caller concerning a point that you can't seem to get across to them.
Well, you see, it occurs to me that I have a responsibility to other people like yourself that are eavesdropping. And if I'm not making my point to the caller, then I have to conclude that there are a lot of other folks that understand the point I'm trying to make. And in this instance, it was why you have to have a credit card to rent a car. I thought that was a rather important point, and what collision damage waiver is all about and what your responsibilities are.
All right, thanks so much for calling. By the way, for the television audience, if you want to ask Bruce some questions or want some advice, 2:30 to 6:30 this afternoon, as every Wednesday afternoon, Bruce, right?
That's true, off the air.
Off the air, and then his regular show this evening. So if you want some advice or questions, give him a call. You can't beat the price either. It's, we say hello to Lamar from Huber Heights.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Lamar.
Bruce.
Hello there.
Bruce, I'd just like to make a quick comment. I'm an entrepreneur, 36 years old. I travel all around the country. I also have businesses in Texas. Your business philosophy runs parallel with mine. I enjoyed the comment this morning on the brain surgeon. My business philosophy and the way I operate my businesses is the same way. I agree with you 100%.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. Lamar, thank you.
Thank you.
I guess really that's all you're dealing with. You deal with very basic, I kick myself, Bruce, when I'm listening to you about some problem somebody brings up because the things you point out are so logical, I should have thought of them.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, but they're somewhere in the back of the mind. We say hello to, I believe Helen is next. Hi.
Hello, Bruce.
Yes.
You speak of your children, and last week you said something about being home alone, just you and your dog.
Yeah.
Hey, we asked your marital status. You never referred to your wife.
Well, I have a lovely ex-wife. I'm divorced.
I see.
We were married for 28 years. She is a talk show host. I had lunch with her yesterday. We have an amicable relationship, but we went in different directions.
Two talkers in the same family.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. 457-1290, 1-800-345-1290. We just have a minute left. Bruce, going back over your life, and you seem to be happy. Are there things that you would do differently today? I mean, other than maybe some small business decisions, are there things you do with your life a little differently?
I think things would be pretty much as they are. I might have got started in broadcasting a little earlier, if that were possible. On the other hand, doing what I do required a certain amount of seasoning by life to do it well. So I don't think I think if I had one thing to change, I would have had more children.
Okay.
They are the joy of my life. Everything else is ephemeral. Making money always came easy to me. The kids are the high point of my life. I can't think of anything that even comes close to one of them, let alone 5. I've even thought about having more.
Bruce, look forward to hearing you tonight on 1290 WHIO and possibly seeing you in the future. Thanks so much.
I am looking forward to it. Thanks for being so gracious.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. All right, we are going to wrap things up for today. Tomorrow we're going to talk to, believe it or not, a couple dealing with child custody battles, a lesbian couple. Have a great day.
This simulcast segment of the Mike Scinto Show was a presentation of 1290 WHIO Radio and Television 7. Join us tomorrow morning for another exciting guest and conversation. The Mike Scinto Show can be heard weekdays from 9 till 1 on AM 1290 WHIO.